Hello grade 9 students! Welcome to our new lesson in math. Our topic for today is about direct and inverse variation. So ito ang first topic natin ngayon para sa second grading. If you want to learn more about this topic, please keep on watching. Okay, so another topic in algebra is about variation. In particular, for this video, the type of variation that we will be discussing is about direct and inverse variation. What is variation? Variation is a mathematical function that relates the values of one variable to those of other variables. From the word itself, variation, magkakaroon ng relationship ng two or more variables wherein magkakaroon tayo ng dependent and independent variable. Kung saan, pwede nating baguhin yung values ng independent variables para at the same time, mabago rin natin ang values ng dependent variables. That is why we call it variation. We have different types of variation. One is direct variation, 2, inverse variation, 3rd, joint variation, and 4th, combined variation. But for this video, as what I have said earlier, we will focus on direct variation and inverse variation. Tapos, sa next video naman ang joint and combined variation. So, let's start muna sa direct variation. Okay, first, let's cite a situation which we encounter in our everyday life. Example, number of kilos of rice at yung cost neto. Diba kapag maraming kilos ang iyong bibilhin, ibig sabihin mas mataas ang iyong babayaran. At kapag naman kakaunting kilo lang ang iyong bibilhin, ibig sabihin mababa rin ang iyong babayaran. At ang halimbawang ito ay nagpapakita ng direct variation. Isa pang halimbawa ng direct variation is about distance at ang length of time travel. Halimbawa, naglakad ka at ang distance na nilakad mo ay 1 kilometer sa loob ng 20 minutes at a constant rate. I-compare natin kung ang distance na lalakarin mo ay mas malayo, ibig sabihin mas mahabang oras ang iyong gugugulin. At kung malapit naman ang distance na lalakarin mo, ibig sabihin, mas maiksing oras lang ang kakailanganin. So, ano nga ba ang direct variation? Based from our example, direct variation involve two quantities na kung saan kapag nag-increase ang isang quantity, ay mag-i-increase rin ang isa. At kapag nag-decrease ang isang quantity, ay mag-decrease rin ang isa. At doon sa mga previous lesson nyo, you were able to represent relationships between two quantities using graph, table of values, and equation. Paano malalaman kung ang table of values ay direct variation? Pansinin natin ang table na ito. Ang value ng x at ang value ng y. Dapat, habang nag-i-increase ang value ng x, dapat ay nag-i-increase rin yung value ng y with a constant of variation. Paano ba malalaman ang constant of variation sa table na to? So, ito ang formula. K is equals to y divided by x. Ito ang formula ng constant of variation. So, i-divide lang natin ang value ng y sa value ng x. So, ganito yon. 2 divided by 1, 4 divided by 2, 6 divided by 3, 8 divided by 4, and 10 divided by 5, and so on. Kung makikita ninyo, pare-pareho ang magiging quotient nila. Kaya, ibig sabihin, ang table of values na ito ay direct variation. Tandaan guys, na sa direct variation, kapag mag-increase ang value ng x, mag-i-increase din yung value ng y. Pero dapat, with a constant of variation. Hindi lang siya basta-basta nag-increase. Kasi kung sinolve niyo yung constant of variation at iba-iba yung naging quotient niya, ibig sabihin, hindi yan example ng direct variation. Next, punta tayo dito sa graph ng direct variation. Paano malalaman kung ang graph ay nagpapakita ng direct variation? Ang graph ng direct variation is a straight line that intersect at the origin o dito sa 0, 0. So kapag straight line yan at hindi nag-intersect dito sa 0, 0 or sa origin, ibig sabihin hindi siya direct variation. Next, now let's go to the equation of direct variation. So in this case, the equation of variation is y is equals to 2x. So this is based from the formula of direct variation, y is equals to kx, wherein 2 is the constant of variation or constant of proportionality. At nakuha natin yung tong ito gamit yung formula ng constant of variation. At ito nga yung lumabas. Okay? So, pare-parehong 2 yung naging quotient. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung constant of variation at sinubstitute lang natin siya dito sa formula niya. Kaya, ito yung naging equation of variation niya. So, yung y is equals to kx can be read as y varies directly as x, y is directly proportional to x, or y is proportional to x. Itong mga statement na to, ito lang yung translation niya. Y is equals to kx. So, sa direct variation, itong dalawang formula lang na ito ang dapat nating tandaan. Y is equals to kx at saka yung k is equals to y over x. Okay, next, I will show you how to answer learning task 1 in your module. Pero syempre, papalitan lang natin ng ibang given para meron lang kayong guide. Unahin muna natin sagutan yung letter A. Complete the table if y varies directly as x or x squared. So first, itatranslate muna natin yung mga statement na ito. Okay? So here, ang statement is y is equals to kx. At kapag naman x squared ang nasa statement, papalitan lang natin yung x na ito ng y is equals to kx squared. Or yung formula naman ng constant ay k is equals to y over x. Okay, so una nating sagutan yung number 1. Okay, so kung mapapansin ninyo, ang given natin dito sa number 1, yung y is 18, x is 9. So, ang hahanapin natin ay yung constant of variation at saka yung equation. So, ano yung gagamitin nating formula dito sa tatlo? So, since hinahanap natin yung constant or yung k, ang gagamitin nating formula is yung k is equals to y over x. Tapos, ipa-plug in lang natin or isa-substitute lang natin yung mga given sa y at saka x dito sa formula. So, ang y natin is 18, ang x is 9. So, 18 divided by 9 is equals to 2. So, yung 2, ito yung magiging constant of variation niya. Pag nahanap na yung constant of variation, next naman na gagamitin natin ay yung formulang ito. Yung y is equals to kx. So, papalitan lang natin yung k ng nakuha natin kaninang constant of variation na 2. So, ang equation of variation is y is equals to 2x. Okay, next. Number 2. So, ang hahanapin naman natin sa number 2 ay y at saka yung equation of variation. So, meron tayong x, merong k. So, ano naman ang formula ang gagamitin natin? So, since hinahanap yung y, ito yung gagamitin nating formula. Y is equals to kx. So, isa-substitute lang natin kung ano yung mga nandito na given. So, ang k natin ay 3. Tapos, baliktad lang yan. Okay lang yun. Walang problema. So, ang x natin is 1. Ang k natin is 3. So, pag binaliktad nyo naman yan, okay lang. Same pa rin naman ang lalabas doon. So, 1 times 3 is equals to 3. So, y is 3. Okay, so ang equation naman natin, ito pa rin ang gagamitin nating formula. Palitan lang natin yung k ng 3. So, y is equals to 3x. Next, number 3. Okay, next, number 3 naman, y is 40. Ang hahanapin natin is x, tapos yung k. So, ang given naman ay equation is equals to 10x. So, dito sa equation pa lang, makikita na natin na ang value ng k natin ay 10. So, ang next na lang na gahanapin natin ay yung x. So, ano naman ang gagamitin nating formula dito? So, pwede mong gamitin tong formula pa rin. Y is equals to 10x. Tapos, y is 40. Substitute lang natin. Then, 10x. Since hinahanap natin yung value ng x, para x na lang ang matira dito sa right side, i-divide natin both sides of the equation ng 10. Then, 10 divided by 10, cancel na natin yan kasi sagot niyan ay 1. So, x na lang matitira dito. Then, 40 divided by 10 is equals to 4. Therefore, x is equals to 4. Next, number 4. So, ang number 4 is the same lang sa number 3. Ang pinagkaiba lang dito ay x squared na ang ginamit. So, obviously, ito na yung gagamitin nating formula. Okay, so dito sa equation na to, makikita natin na ang constant of variation niya ay 2. Yan, yung constant of variation niya ay 2. Tapos, hanapin natin yung value ng x. So, gamit yung formula na yan, y is equals to kx squared. So, para x na lang matira ulit dito sa right side, so divide natin ang equation, both sides of the equation ng 2. Sorry. Yan, sinubstitute muna. Y is 50, 2x squared. Then, divide both sides by 2 para x na lang mamaya ang matira. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, x squared na lang. And then, 50 divided by 2 is equal to 25. Ito na ba yung final answer? Hindi pa po. Kasi meron pang x squared dito. So, to eliminate or para matanggal natin yung 2 dito or yung exponent dito sa x, i-extract lang natin both sides of the equation. Lalagyan lang natin siya ng radical sign. Ipukunin natin yung square root ng equation. Cancel natin yung radical. Tapos, cancel natin yung x squared. Kasi the square root of x squared is x. Then, the square root of 25 is 5. Kaya, ang x natin ay 5. Okay, next, let's move on to the second type of variation, the inverse variation. First, let's have this application of inverse variation. Tingnan natin ang dalawang variables na ito. Yung number of workers at saka yung time to finish the job. Di ba kapag maraming workers na gumagawa sa isang trabaho, mas maiksi yung time na magagamit to finish the job. Pero, kapag naman konti ang workers, mas mahaba yung time na magagamit natin to finish the job. So, this is an example of inverse variation. So, ano nga ba ang inverse variation at anong pinagkaiba nito kanina doon sa direct variation? Based from the example, inverse variation involve two quantities na kung saan kapag nag-decrease o bumaba ang isang quantity, mag-i-increase o tataas naman ang isang quantity. Kapag naman mag-increase o tumaas ang isang quantity, magde-decrease naman o bababa ang isang quantity. Hindi katulad kanina sa direct variation. Sa direct variation, kapag tumaas ang isang quantity, tataas din ang isa. Or, kapag bumaba ang isang quantity, bababa rin yung isang quantity. So, paano malalaman kung ang graph, table of values, at equation ay nagpapakita ng inverse variation? Kung titingnan natin dito sa table of values ng inverse variation, habang tumataas ang value ng x, bumababa naman ang values ng y with a constant of variation. Paano naman malalaman ang constant of variation ng inverse variation? So, ito ang formula naman niya. K is equals to xy. Or, kukunin lang natin yung product ng x at saka y. So, i-multiply lang natin katulad nito. So, 1 times 2. Ito naman is 2. So, 2 times 1 is equals to 2. And 3 times 2/3 is equals to 2. So, paano naging 2 to? So, cancel lang yan. Or 3 times 2 is 6 divided by 3 is equals to 2. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, pare-pareho ang product na nakuha natin. Kaya, ibig sabihin, this table of value shows inverse variation. Guys, kung mapansin ninyo sa table na tumaas ang isang quantity tapos bumaba ang isa, pero hindi pare-pareho yung naging product nila or yung constant of variation, iba-iba yung naging constant of variation. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya inverse variation. Okay po. At ang graph naman ng inverse variation ay hyperbola. So, mapapansin natin dito sa graph, it is a smooth curve, pero dapat hindi ito magi-intersect dito sa 0, 0 or dito sa origin. Okay, so at sa case namang ito, ang equation of variation naman dito ay y is equals to 2 divided by x. This is based from the formula of inverse variation, y is equals to k divided by x, where 2 is the constant of variation or constant of proportionality. At nakita natin ang tunay ito dito gamit ang formulang k is equals to x times y. Tapos, sinubstitute lang natin ito dito sa formula, kaya nakuha natin yung equation of variation na y is equals to over x. So, yung y is equals to kx can be read as y varies inversely as x or y is inversely proportional to x. So, eto yung translation niya sa statement na to. So, sa inverse variation naman, itong dalawang formulang ito ang tatandaan lang natin. Y is equals to k over x at saka yung k is equals to x times y. Okay, so next, I will show you again how to answer letter B naman, this one, sa learning task 1 pa rin sa inyong module. Pero, ibahin ko lang din uli yung given para may guide lang kayo. Sorry, this one is letter B. Okay, so letter B na tayo. Yan. Hindi lang siya na-edit. Okay, so complete the table if y varies inversely as x. So, una, ita-translate natin yung statement na ito. Y varies inversely as x. So, ito yung magiging translation niya. Y is equals to kx or k is equals to y over x. So, ito yung constant of variation formula. Okay, so first, let's answer number 1. So here, given ay y and x, which is 3 and 4, ang hahanapin muna natin is yung k and the equation. So since hinahanap natin yung k, alin dito sa formula ang gagamitin natin kung hahanapin natin yung constant of variation. So syempre, ito. K is equals to x times y or y times x. Just the same. Tapos, isa-substitute lang natin yung mga given na to dito sa formula. So, we have yung x natin or yung y natin is 3. Yung x natin is 4. So, nagkapalit uli. Walang problema yan kasi multiplication lang naman yan. So, 3 times 4 is equals to 12. So, therefore, ang k or yung constant natin is 12. So, pag nahanap na yung constant of variation or yung k, isa-substitute naman siya natin dito sa equation na to para yun yung magiging equation of variation nyo. So, y is equals to yung k is 12 over x. Next, number 2. Sa number 2 naman, ang given natin is x and k. Hanapin natin yung y at saka yung equation. So, since y ang hinahanap natin, so itong formula ang gagamitin natin. Y is equals to kx. Tapos, substitute lang natin yung mga given value ng k, which is 2,700 divided by yung x na 27. So, 2,700 divided by 27 is equals to 100. So, y is 100. So, since meron na tayo dito constant of variation, isa-substitute lang natin siya uli dito sa formula. Papalitan lang natin yung k ng 2,700 then divided by x. Okay. So next, number 3. Sa number 3, y is 8. So ang hanapin natin is x and k. So meron na tayong equation. Again, kung titingnan natin dito sa equation, narito na yung constant of variation which is 24. So ilalagay na natin siya dito. So ang hanapin na lang natin is yung x. So, you can use any of this formula. Walang problema yun. So, for me, I will use the formula k is equals to y over x. Mas madali kasi. Multiply lang. So, kung ito man ang gamitin mo, walang problema. Ganun pa rin ang lalabas nun. Okay, so k is equals to 24 is equals to yung x, then yung y mo is 8. Para x na lang ang matira, I will divide both sides of the equation by 8. So, 8 divided by 8 is 1. So, x na lang. Then, 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3. So, our x is equal to 3. Then, for number 4, we have x is 5, then the equation is y is equals to 50 over x. Hanapin naman natin yung y at saka yung k. So, tingnan natin yung equation. Nandito na po yung constant of variation which is 50. So, ipa-plug in lang natin siya dyan. 50, tapos y natin. So, you can use any of these two formula again. So, I will use k is equals to xy. So, isa-substitute ko lang. Ang k is 50. Ang x is 5, y is unknown, yun ang hanapin natin. Then, divide both sides of the equation by 5 para y na lang matira dito sa right side. So, divide, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So, y na lang. Then, 50 divided by 5 is equals to 10. So, our y is equal to 10. Okay, that's how you answer learning task 1, letter A and letter B. Okay, so translate each statement into an equation. Use k for the constant of variation. So, number 1, C varies directly as D. Susundan lang natin yung formula kaninang direct variation, which is y is equal to kx. So, yan yung formula ng direct variation. Kasi since directly yung nakalagay dito sa statement, so papalitan lang natin siya. Instead na y, tsaka x, ito ang binanggit dito sa statement, kaya yun ang gagamitin natin. C varies directly as D. So, yung C tsaka D lang yung pinalitan natin. Okay po, pero yung K, andyan pa rin siya. Then next, number 2 naman. Z varies inversely as B. So, inversely, susundan naman natin yung formula ng inverse variation, which is y is equal to K divided by x. So, ito yung formula nung inverse variation. So, ito lang yung susundan natin, pero papalitan lang natin ng mga variables na minention dito sa statement. So, z, ito yung magiging translation niya. Z is equals to k divided by b. Okay? So, next, number 3. A is directly proportional to the square of S. So, since dito sa statement sa number 3 ay directly proportional, ibig sabihin, yung inverse variation, yung formula na susundan natin. Okay, so since binanggit din dito, square of S, so ibig sabihin ng square of S, magiging ganito yung statement niya, A is directly proportional to S squared, kasi square of S. Okay, next, number 4. M is directly proportional to N. So, katulad lang din siya dito sa directly, katulad din siya dito sa number 1 and number 3. Okay, so M is equals to Kn. M is equals to Kn. Then last, number 5, M is inversely proportional. So, inversely, so yung sa inverse variation naman na formula ang susundan natin. So, unang minention dito is M is inversely proportional to N. So, ganyan po yung pag-translate ng statement into equation, wherein K is our constant of variation. Okay, next. Solve the following. So, number 1, if y varies directly as x, y varies directly as x and y is equals to 42 when x is equals to 14. Find y when x is equals to 16. So, to solve this, ang unang gagawin nyo muna ay itatranslate muna yung statement na yan. Y varies directly as x. Ito yung magiging translation niya or yung formula. Y varies directly as x. Tapos, isa-substitute lang natin, given natin ng x and y. So, yan muna. So, y is 42. Lalagay lang natin dyan. Then, k, then yung x natin is 14. So, 42 is equals to k times 14 is equals to 42 is equals to k 14. So, divide both sides by 14. Cancel. So, para k na lang ang matira dito sa right side. So, 42 divided by 14 is equals to 3. So, 3 is equals to k. Ito yung constant of variation natin. Pag nahanap ng constant of variation, so from here, sa equation na to, isa-substitute lang natin yung k na to dito sa equation. So, y is equals to 3x. Mula dito, hahanapin naman natin yung y. Find y when x is 16. So, y is equals to 3, yung constant, tas yung x naman na 16. Ito siya. So, 3 times 16 is equals to 48. So, therefore, ang sagot dito sa unang problem natin, find y. So, ang y natin is equal to 48. Okay, next. Number 2. Example. If y varies inversely with x and y is equals to 2 when x is equals to 3, find y when x is equals to 6. So, this time, inversely naman, y varies inversely with x. Translate muna natin siya into equation. So, ito yung magiging translation niya. Since inversely yan, y is equals to k over x or k divided by x. So, first, isa-substitute natin yung y at saka yung x dito sa equation na to. So, y is 2, k, then yung x natin is 3. So, to solve this, pwede natin siyang i-cross multiply. So, lalagyan lang natin to ng over 1 para maging proportional lang silang dalawa, yung equation na yan. Tapos, we can do cross multiplication. So, k times 1 is 1k, then 2 times 3 is equals to 6. So, para k na lang matira dito, divide natin both sides by 1. So, k is equal to, so k is equal to 6 because 6 divided by 1 is 6. So, ito yung constant of variation naman natin. From this equation naman, isa-substitute naman natin yung k dito. So, magiging y is equals to 6 over x. Then, isa-substitute na natin yung huling given ng x. So, find y when x is 16. When x is 6. So, y is equals to 6, yung constant, yung x natin is 6. Kaya, y is equals to 1. So, ibig sabihin, ang sagot natin dito sa problem na to, y is equals to 1.